So most people think that business is stable because nothing has gone wrong yet. Well, if you are a coach, a trainer, a consultant based in Singapore or Malaysia, and your next few months still depend on clients saying yes the way they did in the past, where decisions were faster and conversations were easier. So what happened when things slow down slightly? And you only realize it after your pipeline starts thinning out. And if your income still feels fine right now, have you actually looked at your situation and asked yourself whether it still works if a few deals didn't close, or if the next launch underperforms, or if clients take longer to decide instead of moving quickly like before? And if nothing has gone wrong for you yet, congratulations, this is exactly when you should be paying attention. Because in business, the problem doesn't show up only when things stop. It shows up when things start moving as easily as before. And most people ignore that phase because it doesn't feel urgent, isn't it? But do stay with me for a while because this is not about what is happening out there. This is about how you are reading your own situation wrongly without realizing it. Big mistake. And if this already feels a bit uncomfortable, which I'm sure some of you might be, well, just help me out. Share this video with your loved ones, like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it, because I guess most people will avoid this conversation until it becomes their problems. So thank you very much for that. So right now, most people judge the business based on what they can see. Current clients, recent sales, upcoming projects, and whether things still feel active. But none of that tells you one thing: how strong your position actually is when conditions change. Because when things are easy, clients come in faster, decisions feel smoother, and even average positioning still converts. Well, which is why many people start believing that business is more stable than it actually is. And when things start to tighten, nothing is breaking down, but everything slows down. People hesitate more, sales cycles stretch, and what used to feel natural now requires more effort, more time, and this is where most people get caught because nothing looks not working. If your income depends on the next few clients saying yes to you, well, guess what? You really do not have a stability issue. Sorry, you do have stability rather, and you have a timing risk. Make sense? And this is where most people misunderstand what is happening because they are waiting for something big, when what actually changes the outcome is something small: a delayed decision, a lost deal, a slower response, and individually none of it feels serious. But together, it changes everything. It's like having water flow through a pipe and slowly turning the tap. Nothing dramatic happens at first, but the pressure drops, the flow weakens, and suddenly what used to feel consistent now feels uncertain. And that's what this phase feels like right now. And this is where people start telling themselves stories to stay comfortable, all good. They look at their niche and say it's still okay. They tell themselves their clients are different, their brand is solid, and people will always need what they do. And all of that sounds reasonable and logical when things are still moving. But if you slow down for a while, none of that actually answers the real questions. Are you ready for this? The question is whether your business can still hold if things stop being easy, being smooth, because that is what is quietly changing right now. Not whether opportunity exists, but whether your structure, your operation can sustain you when momentum slows down. Now, some of you already know the answer when you look at your numbers properly. I hope you do, okay? Not the version you tell people, but actual numbers. You just haven't been forced to deal with it because nothing has pushed you hard enough. If your business only works when leads are coming in consistently and deals are coming smoothly, then it is not a strong business, my friends. It is a business that depends on conditions staying friendly, and that feels fine until the conditions change slightly. If your deal only works when nothing goes wrong, haha, you already know it doesn't work. In fact, a lot of people calling themselves business owners are not really ready operating a business. They are just waiting for the next sale to come in so that they feel okay again. And this is where most people get it wrong, because they think stability means things are still moving, when in reality, what stability means is nothing has been tested yet. So in this kind of cycle, you don't get a warning first. I'm sorry. You feel the pressure first. And only after that do you realize where your business is actually weak. Your business doesn't fail because things slow down, but it fails when you don't know how to operate without momentum. And most people don't realize until momentum is already gone. So instead of asking whether the market is good or bad, which doesn't help you at all, by the way, ask something more direct and harder to swallow. If your next 3 clients are not closed, what changes immediately in your situation? Think about it not in theory, but really in reality. If your current pipeline dries up for the next 2 months, do you still feel in control of your business? Or do you start making decisions just to relieve pressure? If people take longer to decide and everything moves slower than you expected, can your business still hold without you feeling tight? Now, these are not extreme situations. They are just normal. And if your answer already feels uncomfortable, guess what? You already know what needs attention. Some people think they are running a business, but if you look closely, they are depending on what? Depending on momentum, depending on referrals, depending on things continue the way they have been, and that was when everything is easy and smooth. But things are already not as easy as before, like I said. So if this is making you uncomfortable, I think it's a good news, because that's where clarity starts. So again, once again, do me a favor, like this video, share this video with people who are still living in their dreams. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so, if you haven't done so, because I believe that most people will look at this when they have no choice. I hope that you are not, because you are here. So do something simple this week. Take a proper look at your pipeline. Not the story you have been telling yourself, but look at the actual numbers. And be honest, be truthful about where it starts to feel uncertain. Because once you see that clearly, guess what? You stop guessing and you are not hoping anymore. In this kind of environment, the people who come out stronger are not the ones who market the most or move the fastest. They are the ones who can operate without depending on things going smoothly. And that's the reality. People do not get stuck because they are unlucky. They get stuck because they stay comfortable for too long. And by that time, it becomes obvious they are no longer deciding for themselves. They're just reacting to the outcome. And if you do want to go deeper into how to position yourself properly as a coach, a trainer, a consultant in Singapore or Malaysia, come join me in the Destiny Architect Telegram chat, because the ones who adjust and adapt early are not smarter. They are just not getting caught. So thanks for watching this video. I'll see you inside Destiny Architect Telegram chat, and of course the next video.